Hi everyone! Today we're going to be ranking my entire Louis Vuitton Nano bag collection. Some of you may know that I am an avid mini bag collector and Louis Vuitton is among my favorites. During this video, I'll be reviewing the features of each bag, as well as what fits, the pros and cons, and of course, stay tuned to the end to find out which one is my favorite. So I'm Jo, otherwise known as the Little Bean on Instagram, TikTok, and now here on YouTube. I started this channel in order to provide more in-depth reviews on my bags, as well as to share more of my bag collection, to include all of these here. If you like this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe. So coming in at number 5 is my Louis Vuitton Nice Nano Vanity. Now, I wouldn't actually wear this as a purse, but it is a nano bag, technically speaking, so I thought I would share it today. So this piece comes with a raw vachetta handle, as well as raw vachetta piping at the top and bottom. The interior is wipeable, and it doesn't have any pockets or anything of that nature. So I will say I have seen people use this as a bag. I believe one of my friends on Instagram, her account is Imir Luxury Collections. She has a vanity conversion kit that allows you to wear this as a bag, which I think is absolutely genius. That said, in general, I don't particularly love using vanity bags like this as purses because I feel like they're just so hard to get in and out of. But again, that's just personal preference. So for the what fits portions of the video, I'll be using these items shown here in each of the 4 bags so you can get a general comparison of size and space capacity. All right, so as you can see, everything fits. It is a little snug, especially the phone in the back, but everything does fit. And there are no issues zipping the bag. In this case, the Pro Max does not fit in this bag either. So in terms of pros and cons for this piece, I think this is absolutely darling. I just think it is the cutest little vanity and it had been on my wish list for so long. It does fit a surprising amount. So for those of you who are going on a quick trip and have either maybe minimal makeup or use a lot of makeup minis, this is a really handy makeup vanity that can be used. I've shown a reel as well that kind of illustrates other potential uses for this piece. And so in that sense, I think it's really cute. It is, I think, not counting the vintage piece, I believe this is the cheapest of the 3 new ones that I own, or the newer models, I should say. In terms of the cons, I think that because I don't use this as a bag, I don't feel like I get as much use out of it in general. Oftentimes, if I'm not traveling, because I don't travel all the time, I find that this piece just stores lipsticks in it. Other than that, I feel like it is a little strange to have vanity items, which I would assume either hold makeup or are going to be in a bathroom, and to have it have untreated vachetta. Now, again, in this case, this piece has begun to patina a bit, and you can start to see a little bit of sheen showing up. So I'm sure there is some slight protection to the piece, but overall, again, vachetta just scares me. And on this one specifically, there is this like white mark right here. And I have tried everything. I cannot get that little white mark to darken. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know. I've tried leather conditioners, I tried mink oil, I tried all sorts of things. Overall though, I still think for the price, I think I got it for 30 or 40% off of retail. So I still think it was worth it for me to buy despite some of the little issues. And I do think it's a really cute piece. Coming in at number 4 is my Mini Speedy HL. Now, technically speaking, this is the vintage version, which was called the Mini Speedy HL, but it is the exact same size as today's Nano. The only difference is this one, I have to hook my strap to these caddy corners versus the new ones, which have the D-rings on the side, which I am a little sad that I don't have the D-rings on the side, but overall, I absolutely love this little piece. So this bag has the natural untreated vachetta. Of course, mine is vintage and it has been loved, and so there is a rather dark patina on this bag already. I am accessorizing it today with this little bag charm from Dress Up Your Purse. It was gifted to me and I just absolutely love how it looks with this little piece. So on the interior, I did end up getting a strap that would go with this bag. I don't know if the mini HLs often came with straps. This one was sold separately. So in the interior, it's just their normal cloth interior. There is no pocket or anything, but it is surprisingly spacious. So here's how everything fits in the bag. There is actually a little bit of room up here, so even when I zip it, you can tell that there is some space. So I probably could fit more in this Speedy. In looking at this bag, I would have thought initially that it would be able to fit a full-size phone, let alone, you know, all of these other things. So overall, that's a major benefit of this piece, is that you can fit a deceptively large amount. For those wondering, this does not fit into this Speedy bag. So in terms of pros and cons, for the pros, I think that this is just a really adorable size. For me, I really like the size of this on my petite frame. You know, I think the Speedy 20 is a more popular size, but for me, I just felt like I didn't like the size of that one. It was just a little bigger than I needed. I would say the capacity of this one is great. It fits everything that I need. And overall, I would just say that when you buy a piece like this vintage, you can often find it for a better price. I have seen these priced, you know, in the 500 price range, and it goes up depending on the condition of the pieces, but you can find this at a far more affordable price if you don't want to pay today's retail price. In terms of cons, I think this bag doesn't have structure to it, as you can see, and that does bug me because, you know, sometimes if you have oddly shaped items in the bag, their shape will kind of poke out and it doesn't have that perfectly shaped silhouette. That said, it is relatively solvable. I do have an insert, so I have one in right now. And so there is definitely a lot more structure to the bag. This insert that I got was gifted to me, and I love how it has these compartments here. I'll include a link to it in the caption below. The only drawback of using an insert in general is that I do feel like it does restrict your full carrying capacity because, you know, there is more of a restriction to how much you can stretch the bag. Of course, I understand you can't have it both ways. You can't want structure and also want to fit the entire world. So it's just something to keep in mind though if you are using an insert. It would be helpful if the zipper went a little farther down on the sides. And I say this because while this bag has a great capacity, it is really hard to find things in this black abyss. And because the opening only goes straight across, it's really hard to pull items in and out, which is one of the reasons I think that the Pro Max just wouldn't fit in this bag. Finally, one other thing to note is that this bag had the natural untreated vachetta. Now, this bag, like I said, is vintage, so it has patinaed over time. You can see that sheen here. which is just from all the oils that have been added to this leather over the years. And that in itself now has formed a more protective layer. But overall, especially in those first few years when you're still kind of breaking the bag in and getting that vachetta to a place of patina, there is a higher risk of water damage or staining or darkening in places that, you know, around the handles. I do love the look of vachetta. I love the patinaed look overall. But I will say I always feel like when I have raw vachetta pieces, I'm living in a constant state of fear. Coming in at number 3 is my Nano Diane. Now, this specific bag is actually the replacement of the one that I returned. For more details on that, be sure to check out my full review on the Nano Diane. I'm much happier with this one. The alignment of everything, I think, looks a lot better. So this bag is just a classic silhouette. It comes with 2 different straps, so a short strap and then a long crossbody strap. And the interior is, again, just one open space. It has a cloth lining to it. And that is it. No pocket in the back or anything of that sort. It's important to note that the vachetta on this bag is treated. It will be less prone to water stains and oil stains and things of that nature compared to a raw vachetta bag. In terms of what fits, I have done what's in my bag content for this Nano Diane, but in terms of the specific items that I'll be using throughout the video today, I will say that everything fit except for my Louis Vuitton key pouch. So I couldn't get this one to fit because this pouch is a little taller than the bag itself, and so it just could not fit in. However, my key fob and keys that were inside this pouch slid in perfectly. As I've shown before, this iPhone Plus does fit in the Nano Diane. So in terms of pros and cons for this bag, I think a pro for me is the overall silhouette of this bag. I really do like this kind of mini rectangular setup. I feel like it is one of the easier ways to organize things within the bag because everything can kind of just lay straight. I don't have to worry about any curves or fitting to any specific weird, unique silhouettes. I also like this very strong magnet. I think it's very satisfying to snap shut, and I don't have to fiddle around or fuss with it when I open and close the bag. Also, I really appreciate, again, the fact that the vachetta is treated, so I can just rest a little easier when I'm using this piece. Another pro for me is the fact that it does come with 2 straps, so I can wear it as a crossbody bag, or I could also carry it kind of more as a top handle, or even on my shoulder, though it would be a relatively tight squeeze. In terms of cons, I think the price is very high. This bag, I believe, is the most expensive of the ones that I'm sharing today. And I give more thoughts on my whole issue with the price in my full review of this bag, so definitely check that out. I think as well, as much as I love the silhouette of this bag, I do think it does hinder the amount that you can fit in it, as I just illustrated with the fact that my key pouch couldn't fit. That said, for me, what I use this bag for, I usually have a mini catch-all, a card holder, some lippies, and my key pouch, and everything fits in it just fine. The items that I shared in today's video are really just to kind of show the bags at max capacity. I don't actually carry all of those things with me in real life. Coming in at number 2 is my Nano Alma. So I do have a full review on this bag. Again, I'll leave links to all of my full reviews in the caption below as well. So this bag has 2 zippers, and it also comes with a vachetta strap. The interior, like the others, is just a cloth lining, and again, there is no pocket. Okay, in terms of what fits, everything that I had shown does fit in this bag just right. It is pretty snug, and I wouldn't say there is any room for anything else, because when you do zip this bag shut, it just fits in a way that keeps the zipper straight. I would think anything else in that zipper is going to get all wonky. In terms of the Pro Max, unfortunately, I would say it does not fit in this bag. So for pros and cons, I absolutely adore this silhouette, like I said. I like the fact that I feel as though your items are pretty easy to find because you have such a large opening here. I was also impressed with how much this bag could fit. This bag could fit everything that the Speedy Nano can fit without any issue. And I do think that overall, the details of this bag are really nice. I love the fact that the vachetta is treated, again, as I had mentioned in the Nano Diane review as well. I will say I do also like that the bottom of this bag is canvas versus the vachetta leather, because I feel like I've seen in a lot of the Monogram Almas that have this vachetta at the bottom, it comes with a fully vachetta bottom, and there's almost always stains on it in that case. So I do appreciate that there is canvas here. So in terms of the cons, I would say the first thing is that if you fully try and overstuff this bag, the zipper here will get super wonky and it won't look cute. So there is a limit to how much you can put in this piece, from the sheer stance of, you know, it will start to do this, or it will start to bend and look very silly if you have too many items in it. The second thing is I'm just not a fan of these cross corner methods to make crossbody bags. I feel like it causes the handles to drop down, whereas when I'm wearing this bag, especially because it's so small, I really like the top handles to be facing up. And then finally, I feel like the zippers on this one are okay, but they aren't the smoothest zippers that I have seen in Louis Vuitton, and I kind of wish that they had invested in some smoother zippers overall. Coming in at number 1 is my Nano Dora. Comment below if you knew that this was my favorite Nano bag. I have a full video on this bag as well. Be sure to check it out as I go into a lot of details as to where I found it and a little bit more on the customizations that I've done. It has a monogram canvas on the front and back panel, and then it has leather trim all along the sides and the bottom of the bag. I did add some customizations to this bag. So the first thing is this luggage tag, and I was able to go to the boutique and they were kind enough to heat stamp my initials in a silver to match the silver embossing here. I did add some handbag heels to the bottom of this bag, and I really think that the silver color actually goes really well with all of the silver details on the bag. Finally, I go into more detail on this in my full video, but I did cut the straps off of this bag that were connected originally here and here, and I added some holes so that I could add my own strap that I could then also wear this bag as a top handle without any straps on it. In terms of the interior of the bag, there aren't really any other features. There are no pockets or anything. It is a micro suede lining, and I do love this large pull tab with the silver accents. In terms of what fits, this Nano Dora fits everything with no issue whatsoever. In fact, I believe this bag is the largest of all of the Nanos that I'll be sharing today. I love that it's still a slim silhouette, but there is a lot of room to the top. I think I could probably fit a pair of sunglasses and they would fit comfortably in here with no issues. And with the Pro Max, it fits with no issues. So again, to touch on the pros and cons of this bag, I adore this little piece. I think that this bag is the most ideal size of all of the nano bags that I have. It's still very slim and it's very small and cute, but it holds more than any of the others because it is tall and slim. I also love the black against the monogram. I feel like nowadays it's pretty hard to find the black and monogram type pieces. There are some in the men's collection, but overall, unless you're getting a world tour bag, it's really hard to find black and monogram. So I was very excited when I found this piece. I also love the overall silhouette and shape. I love that it has mini top handles and it's shaped like the Alma, but again, it's thicker at the top here so that you can actually make use of the entire space of the bag without the zipper going all wonky. In terms of cons, I think the biggest con is the fact that it is relatively rare. I didn't even know it existed until I had stumbled across it on the Fashion File website. Obviously, there were some things that I didn't like about the bag that I ended up changing. For example, I do think the fact that the straps came connected to this bag was a major con, which is why I went ahead and took the risk and made the change for myself. I also would have wanted the bag to come with feet, given it has such a smooth bottom on it. But again, I have these handbag heels and I think they do a fantastic job. Finally, I do wish that they had an interior pocket in here for organization. It's such a blank area. There's no reason they couldn't have added some additional pockets or slip pockets in here. So to me, that is a minor con. Overall though, this is hands down just such a good bag. I am so happy I was able to find one and add it to my collection. I absolutely love this piece and definitely recommend it. That wraps up my ranking of my entire Louis Vuitton Nano bag collection. Were you surprised by my favorite? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Which bag did you like the best? And do you own any of these? And if so, what are your thoughts? As always, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you as a part of this community. If you want to watch more of my videos, I'll include 2 more right here and here. Otherwise, bye for now.